Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency that operates independently of governments and traditional financial institutions. It's not subject to the same regulations or taxes and traditional currencies are subject to. However, this does not mean that Bitcoin cannot be taken advantage of by the governments. Here are some top ways that we believe governments can use Bitcoin. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump right into it.
Number one on the list is financial inclusion.
Yes.
Easy, man. There's a lot of folks out there that refuse to use traditional markets or traditional banks.
Of course.
But the government thinks that it's best for everybody to be, involved in the system.
Right.
And Bitcoin is the best way to do that.
Agreed. I think that's definitely a good way. Another way that would be great for governments to take advantage of Bitcoin is reduction in transaction costs. I think this really applies to the traditional system as well. Bitcoin can facilitate fast and cheap peer-to-peer transactions without the need for intermediaries such as banks. Actually, I was saying banks could also learn from this, but Bitcoin actually takes out the banks. This can help reduce the transaction cost and increase efficiency in government.
Governments will not have to pay all those bank fees,
Absolutely.
just like you and I.
Yeah.
Increased security, folks. Algorithms, blockchain technology, cryptography, name it. We've heard about the Pentagon Acts. We've talked about the Social Security Acts.
Yeah.
With a blockchain like Bitcoin, we're going to have some major When was the last time? Have you even ever heard about Bitcoin getting hacked? Nope. So yes, more security for the government, folks. More security.
Absolutely. We also have improved cross-border payments. Bitcoin can facilitate fast and cheap, again, taking away those fees, right? Because Lightning fees, if you look at the fees on Lightning, they're extremely cheap. So you can facilitate cross-border payments, which can be partially useful for governments looking to expand trade or increase international cooperation. I think we see this already in some third world countries where they're considering Bitcoin to be able to facilitate those transactions and getting around a system that may be restrictive to them.
Yeah, true.
Right.
True. Next on the list is reduced compliance costs. Now, compliance cost is one of the biggest thefts in governments or governance. For the Social Security or the DMV to operate, the wasteful spending over there is crazy.
Yeah.
But
they charge you for everything too, man. Administrative fees are just wow.
I misplaced your paperwork. How do you misplace my paperwork? So, an implementation of a Bitcoin ledger in the DMV, for example, or the IRS or the FDA could create for more efficiency, which therefore making compliance much, much faster and much, much easier.
Absolutely.
Even better, the voting system. Imagine we can vote through using the blockchain. Or track government expenses on a ledger. Yeah. So that way we'll know if what's his name with the Amazon is passing money down under the table to our legislators.
Well, even better, it will let us know if our legislators are taking money from SBF. That is a big one.
Preach.
Right? Increased transparency, which carries on with the same theme here, right? As mentioned already, as Double already mentioned, the blockchain provides that transparent records of all transactions, which can help increase transparency and reduce the risk of bad actors, so bad governance, bad accounting, and bad financial management, which we know currently that almost every government across the globe right now is absolutely horrible at, as long as they can print that money, which is the first part where the math falls apart. When you can print money, it's just a no-go.
Well, actually, it's a good one because several billions disappeared from the Pentagon budget last year. We're not sure how that happened. That will never happen on the Bitcoin ledger. Never, ever, ever. Next is taxes. Government loves taxes. Government loves taxes. But you know what? For alcohol to become legal, they taxed it. For marijuana to become legal, they taxed it. If you're gonna be trading a Bitcoin on an exchange, of course, make it available for the government to tax. But those of you guys that want to hold it good for you. You know what to do.
Yeah, self-custody the coins
Yeah.
and never let them go. Okay. This- these are just some of the points that we think that can be useful to government when it comes to Bitcoin.
Yep.
And I think that it is important that we went with these points because it is the stuff that the everyday person is dealing with, right? Sometimes and all too often, when people talk about Bitcoin, everything about it just seems so high tech
Yep.
and so far fetched. These are just daily things in our lives, things that affect us all day to day, which we can improve on using technology like Bitcoin.
Yes, sir.
Final thoughts, sir.
Bro, not much. It's been a wonderful start of the year. We're just trying to get you guys to start seeing the practical use cases of Bitcoin. And we hope you guys enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
If you have
Now,
questions and comments, be sure
yes.
to do that.
if you guys know of other blockchains that you believe can provide the same sort of services, right, or value, let us know in the comment down below. We would like to chat with you about that. Come to the principal's office or something like that. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Brazen out.
Double O. Out.